Hello and welcome to One Called Mama. I am your host, Sam, and thank you for joining me today. We are continuing our study of the book It Matters by Kimberly DeShields Spencer, and today we are on chapter 4, Beyond Words, the Feeling and Environment You Create. So I want to start this episode by sharing a story, and I'm going to take you back almost 11 years, probably a little longer than that. To when my husband proposed to me. So we were, it was almost Christmas. We were out and about, and he took me to the Arboretum, and he got down on one knee in a really beautiful, quiet space. There was this stairway that went up to this big tree, this really old, big tree. And in front of that tree was a bench. And so he took me up there and we sat down and we just kind of sat there for a few minutes. And then he had brought his camera and his tripod. And so we could take pictures and not have to, we could both be in them and not have to worry about holding a camera or anything. And so instead of taking a photo, he recorded proposing to me. And it was a really wonderful moment. One that I had desired for a really long time. And the thing that I want to really bring home is that even hours after he proposed, I couldn't remember what he had said to me, which really in the moment bothered me. I was so upset. I wanted to be able to remember vividly and perfectly the things he said to me. And because they were beautiful things, they were wonderful things that I loved hearing. They were heartfelt, kind, loving, just everything that a girl loves to hear from the man that she loves. And I couldn't remember them. But what I could remember is how they made me feel. And I'll never forget how I felt in that moment. It's something that even 11 years later, maybe 12 years later, if you calculate engagement and then planning the wedding, that I remember, and I'll never forget it. And that is what our topic is today, is that people remember how you make them feel, not the things you say. We spend a lot of time trying to come up with the perfect thing to say. Whether we're in sales and we want to memorize the scripts and know exactly what we should say or have a perfect response to every question. Or it can be when you're going into a business meeting and you're pitching an idea to a board of executives and you want to have the storyboard look just perfect and you want the slides to be polished and clean and professional, and you want your website to be done and dazzling and modern and new. You want your business cards to stand out because people throw business cards away, but they won't throw yours away because yours are different, right? We strive for these perfect things, these excellent things that we think we're supposed to strive for. And yet, Kimberly tells us that how we make people feel actually matters more than anything else we could do or sell or buy or present. That if we connect with people, genuinely connect with people, that we make them feel valued, that we show up as our true selves, if we convey the depth and the meaning behind these things that we're presenting. And not only that, but we also show that we connect, that we care, why those people are there too. What brings them there? Why are they invested, or why should they be invested in what we're bringing to the table? So connection is the key. And there are several different ways that she says we can do this, that we can connect with people in a genuine way, on a real way. I'm just going to pull out 3. And we're going to just unpack these a little bit. It's not going to be hard to do. They're going to be pretty self-explanatory, but these are the 3 that I want to focus on for this episode. So the first one that I want to talk about is leading with empathy. Kimberly says that empathy is an active practice. It's not just a feeling. We need to pay attention to others' perspectives and emotions and let that understanding guide our interactions with them. So, in other words, when we have an interaction with a potential client, someone we want to build a ministry with, have an interview with, we are listening to them. We are engaging intentionally with them and understanding what makes them tick. Why are they why are they there? Why are they engaging with us? Why are they taking the time to meet with us? Because that's a big deal, especially in this day and age, for people to take the time out of their schedule to meet with you. So what is really in it for them? And understanding that and really tapping into that, not in a manipulative way, but in a, I want to understand where you're coming from and really making them feel important, like they matter to you because they should. No matter what our goal is, our objective is, whoever we need to partner with on that journey, their needs, their desires, why they're there should matter to us. And it's not about what they can do for us, it's about what we can do for them. And if we always come from that angle, we can never lose. There's a quote that I love, and it says, if you help people get what they want, you can't help but get what you want too. That honestly has changed my life. And I really do my best to filter everything I do through that quote. The second thing that you can do to really connect with people is show up as authentic. It is so tempting to try and show up as someone other than ourselves, to try and dress a certain way or look a certain way, talk a certain way. And yet, the thing that people will really connect with is who you are. I mean, if you're not meant for them, you don't want to present a version of yourself that they connect with, but it's not who you are. And if they don't connect with who you are, then that's just not the right relationship to have. It's okay. You're not meant for everyone, and that's completely fine. You only want to work and build with people that are your people, and vice versa. Those doors will open for you, the right doors. And that is exactly what you want. So be authentic, use your voice, your tone, dress in the clothes that make you feel professional and put together. I mean, I'm not saying show up at a business meeting and don't look the part. You want to dress the way that you should dress, but you're yourself in those clothes. You are who you are and in the space that you belong in. And you have to believe that. You have to believe that you belong in that space. Uh, the imposter syndrome is a real thing and something that I used to struggle with. Thankfully, I know my worth, and I know that I walk into spaces that I belong in. And if I happen to walk into a room where those connections aren't for me and those relationships aren't right, that's okay. I'll just walk right back out the door and try it again, try the next room, and know that I'll get the right one eventually. So be authentically you. And only you can judge this for yourself. Sharing stories about yourself, sharing the wins and the setbacks, the things you learned, maybe the hard way as you're building and growing. These things make you human, and people connect with that because they identify with the struggle. I posted something on my Facebook not that long ago about how I received a rejection email, and I didn't intend for it to blow up the way it did. But what I shared was that rejection is part of the process. And in the immediate response, I was embarrassed. I felt anxiety, strangely enough, and I felt kind of ashamed. But what I had to tell myself was that I'm not for everyone. And that was simply not the right relationship for me. And that I will just move on and reach out to someone else. And I'll keep doing that until I find the right connection. And what I wanted people to understand and to see was that something like rejection can be very embarrassing. It can be difficult to be rejected, but when we are building ministries or businesses or organizations, nonprofits, whatever it is, we have to be okay with rejection, and we have to be able to separate ourselves from, and it's hard because we are our our baby, what we're building, but we can't take it personal. They're rejecting what we're building, and that's okay. It's just part of the process. So don't run from rejection. Don't be embarrassed by it. Share it, talk about it, let people know what you learned from it. It's just something we need to normalize, I think, because it is part of the process and people do need to be prepared for that. And I will say that I thought I was okay with, people rejecting me or not liking me, and I expect that, and I know that that's part of, doing what I'm doing, and I thought I was okay with that, and I am, and yet it still was difficult. So just knowing that even though you might think you're ready for it or that you're okay with it, that's wonderful. Just know that when it happens, it might hit at a really bad time. It might hit you when you were least expecting it, and you might actually have thought that that was um, a really good relationship that could have been built there, and been really disappointed that the other person didn't feel the same way. It's okay if it hurts. We just have to keep going. The last one that I want to talk about is acknowledging and celebrating others. So, the people in your world, whether they're clients, ministry builders, supporters, advocates, family, friends, anyone in your circle, when you celebrate and acknowledge them, that goes a really long way. And it's a simple thing. It could be a card in the mail, it could be a private message, it could be a text message, it could be a phone call, which, if you're like me, I don't like phone calls, but some people like to talk on the phone. So going out of your way just to talk to them for 10 minutes or to acknowledge something that is going on in their world is huge. And people feel so seen and so cared for when you do that. Or when you say, hey, I thought about you the other day and I don't know why, but you were on my heart. So I said a quick prayer for you. How is everything going right now? Because I don't know if y'all have experienced that, but I sure have, where the Lord just is putting someone in my mind and on my heart, and I just pray for them because I feel like there's a reason for it. Do that, and then tell someone you did that, and let them know that they're on your mind. And then you might be surprised. They might share, well, yeah, I'm going through this. Please pray about this with me. Or that's crazy because this just happened in my life, and it could be good, bad, or otherwise. But you're inviting them in to a more personal and deeper relationship. And that's neat. And that's where true, loyal community really grows. And community is so important because when you love on people that way, when you serve them in that way, they are there for you because they're going to be so loyal to you, so that when it's you that's needing the encouragement or the prayer or the help, you're going to have these people who are there for you. They're going to want to do that for you in return. Maybe not all of them, and that's okay, right? But if you're building the true connections, the right connections, you might just be surprised the kind of people that will come alongside of you and be your biggest supporters and advocates in what you're doing in your journey. And that's huge. I feel like I talk about it a lot. Maybe I don't, but having people support you in this is so critical. I can't tell you how many times I have reached out to my circles for prayer because I was going through something really hard. And I could tell within minutes after asking the difference. I could tell the difference. I could feel the weight lifting. I could feel the fog lifting because it was spiritual, right? It was a spiritual attack. A lot of times it is. And I think we just don't think it is, but it is. And it's huge. Asking for help, being able to have key people that you admire and trust and who are doing maybe something similar to what you're doing and can give you advice, help you along your journey, so important. So I highly encourage you, if you don't already have these things in place, find people that can be in your circle that can help you and keep you accountable, that can encourage you and go along this with you. And always, if you need prayer requests, if you want someone to talk to, you can always message me. I always sign off with my email. I am happy to do that, to come alongside with you in prayer. And, with the people that I know, I might even be able to connect you with someone who could help you, and specifically who is walking out the path that you're walking right now. Something similar, or maybe trying to build the exact same thing. You just don't know. So always happy to do that. That was all I had for today's episode. I hope this was encouraging to you. Keep at it. Even if the steps are small, sometimes it's just those small steps that create the biggest momentum, because it's consistency every day. Every day we take a small step, and I know I'm living it. I know that some days small steps feel like they take a lot, and they do. And it's okay. You just do what you can, but you move forward. You show up. You are intentional, even if it's just with one thing or one person. Do that. Don't talk yourself out of success and living your calling because you think the action is too small. The action is never too small. I promise. If you have any prayer requests, any suggestions for future episodes, if you would like to connect with me on Facebook and Instagram, you can check me out on YouTube. All my episodes are over there as well. You can email me at onecalledmama@gmail.com. All my social links are in the description of this episode. And if you would like to book me for a speaking engagement, I am opening up my calendar for that. Women's retreats, church events, conferences, anything, you name it. I would love to discuss that with you. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will see you again next week. Take care.